I am Emily Aronson. I am the branch manager at the Northridge Branch of the Los Angeles Public Library System. I started working at libraries in general in 2015, and that's when I also started with the Los Angeles Public Library System. For 6 years, I was the adult librarian at the Studio City branch, and then last January 2022, I got promoted to being the senior librarian here at Northridge. So I've been at Northridge a little over a year. I took a rather circuitous path to this career. I studied molecular biology in college. That is what my degree is in. But I always loved the entertainment industry. So I actually promptly moved to Los Angeles after college and worked in entertainment for about 13 years. And in around 2013, I realized it wasn't really what I wanted anymore. And I had done a lot in the book world while I was working for a producer, sort of looking for books to turn into movies. And I really loved going to various book events and things like that. So when I was looking for something to do, I knew I wanted to get a credential. Libraries seemed to be a good fit, so I went back to graduate school and I got my Master of Library and Information Science. And then I started working in public libraries, and it turned out to actually be a really good fit. I like to be able to provide for the community, but we also get to use a lot of creativity in creating programs and decorations and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. Ita, our adult librarian, and I had been kind of chatting about our goals for the library, and we really like the idea of things that create community, especially in this kind of post-COVID time where people were so isolated for so long. And we, there are a lot of book clubs out there, and we have another one at this branch that is a Zoom book club, and we thought it might be nice to have something a little more casual, something for people who maybe don't want to sit, and combine that with education. And I had seen this model done at other libraries and in other places, not that often, but I'd seen it. There's one notably in England that walks around Hampstead Heath, and I thought it sounded really fun. So I suggested it to her, and she liked the idea, and we decided to try it. And we are trying it with people talking about any books they're interested in instead of assigning a book. We decided on that model first. But we're only in our third month, and we want to figure out how to promote, and we just picked a day of the week at time, so we might end up changing that to another day of the week if we think it'll get more people. But the people who come really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, combining exercise, companionship, and a love of reading books.
And then, I did read all the Harry Potter things. Yeah, I love that genre. Yeah.
I love
With you somewhere fantasy. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I love the fantasy. Taking you out of reality. I think that's like
we need that.
Yeah.
Have you read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue?
I have it. I have to start reading it.
Yeah,
People
I
say that
think
it's
you might
amazing.
like that from what you said. I think you might like it because it's kind of it's like a fantastical kind of exploration of what happens to her because she has to live forever. So the things that you see, so it's science fiction-y and yet different, but the characters I think were really good.
What was The Invisible Life?
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So I think you might like it.
I have it in my bookshelf. I'm like, people say that it's so good. I don't want to read it and discover that it's not that good.
Well, that's the
I'm
problem
like,
when people build things up so much. You're almost guaranteed to be disappointed because people told you secret. But people told me that too, and I still enjoyed it.
That's good. So I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
The people who came really enjoyed it. Of course, there haven't been that many people, and some of them were us, our staff, but we've enjoyed it too. The walk that I did, I thought it was very pleasant myself. This is really interesting. I heard about some books I hadn't heard about before. I got some fresh air. We're not walking too fast, but you get a little bit of exercise. So I think people really enjoy it, and it's just we have to try to get it to catch on a little bit more. I think it really is the idea of creating a sense of community, where you see the same people over and over again, or sometimes you even find that people have met at library programs and become friends, and that's very satisfying. Like I used to have some of my book clubs, a lot of the people are really close friends, and they met at book club. I have another program that's a virtual program that's been going on since the beginning of the pandemic that is called Tea and a Tale, and it's a public domain reading program. And for 2.5 years, we were reading short stories, but it's the patrons reading to other patrons. And then last summer, I kind of ran out of public domain stories that I could find easily. We read through all of Agatha Christie's public domain, and Sherlock Holmes' public domain, and P.G. Wodehouse public domain. And so I was looking for either light things or mysteries, right? I didn't want anything too depressing. So I said, why don't we read a novel that was originally a serialization? And so we decided to read David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. And I have a group of 10 to 15 people who tune in every week to hear another chapter of David Copperfield read by other patrons, and we're about halfway through the novel, and they really enjoy it. And that's really satisfying, to see that these people really look forward to just getting on the Zoom and hearing this story. Well, it's a beautiful branch that was rebuilt in 2003, but it's also, a great community. We're right across from CSUN, so you have a lot of students coming over here. I feel like we have a lot of people studying and working. And then we have a really wonderful staff. Our staff is very kind and really wants to, all really want to try to help the patrons, and so that makes it special.
Yeah.